Hey folks, and welcome to some of our wee episodes we've got planned between now and the road to TEW2020, and that is of course lookbacks on the save that was the WWE save that started way back after Wrestlemania 32, after the show in Dallas, and of course pretty much the release of TEW2016. Same plan when 2020 comes around. Going to try and have as many long-term saves as we can, but we are going to try and bring a few different ones in. We have still a few weeks to release, and I have to say I have a couple of documents ready to go with ideas, plans for the various saves that will be featuring, of course, on here and on YouTube as well. Twitch as well. The plan is though, anything that does get live stream on Twitch, similar to the AEW save, I'm going to try and just save it and bring it over here, so you can see that as it unfolds. At the moment in time, I may as well give away what it fully is going to be. So it will be AEW on here as the full TNA making an impact situation, typed out angles, etc. Trying to see if I can get an idea off the forums if there's been more character space for those promos. We're also going to see an offline save with WWF in 1983, when I'm hoping to build them up from WrestleMania 1. That will be events, pay-per-views on here only, similar to what we've got with this. And I'm going to a weird one, which changed plans at the last minute. So obviously WWE's changed a lot since 2016. There's so many new wrestlers and obviously so many new shows, and I always had one saver who just wanted to dominate the world. So I'm going to do WWE as the Let's Play on Twitch, which will convert over. But with the availability to manage development companies, I'm going to make it a 2-player save, and I'm also going to manage NXT. So I'll work out in the mod how NXT UK will work, but I might just let them go separate. Eventually, kind of maybe even kill them off and move them over to NXT, but that's stuff, as I say, I've got plenty of weeks to plan ahead of that. But don't think, oh, it's all real mod stuff or real world stuff, etc. There could be some C-verse stuff. As I say, you never know, I could play a demo and get hooked. As I say, these are just early ideas of what's going to happen straight away. There's obviously when we get there. But let's go back. Let's go back 4 years, which is crazy to think. TW was just out, 2016 was just out, and we were building up to, kick on. So I'm going to look at here as my first ever show, and then I'm going to look at every Mania up to WrestleMania 38, of course, WrestleMania 39. Kind of need to keep under wraps, that's this Saturday night's episode. And then after Saturday, we'll start to look through like the title energies and stuff like that, because obviously there's a few title changes at WrestleMania. So we can see here, everybody always says, how do you get the great reigns? It never started that way. You had to build them up. So we started with B77 on our first Monday Night Raw. We only had 9,000 in attendance. And we actually started with Vince announcing that my user character, Shane, was in charge. So you could say it was pretty similar to real life, because Shane obviously had the whole lockbox incident with Vince, the angle that went nowhere. We had Becky Lynch defeat Tamina, which was a 48, so the women were certainly not over at that time. Sami Zayn defeating Adam Rose as a throwback for it, and then we had Kevin Owens attack Sami Zayn. So straight off the bat, those two were feuding, with Natalya accepting the challenge from Charlotte Flair. Obviously, he should have been women's champion at that time. And Cena making his full return on Raw, of course, came back at WrestleMania. That all helped with The Rock against the Wyatt family, and Chris Jericho got a bit better about that. We had Sasha Banks defeat Naomi. We had The Miz, similar to the same as the night after WrestleMania, cuts a promo on Zack Ryder and defeats Zack Ryder for the IC title. Retained it, so this mod already had The Miz as champion, so that's fair enough because that happened the day after, that's fair. We had Dolph Ziggler defeat Curtis Axel. We had a Dean Ambrose promo, he defeated Bo Dallas. We had the New Day promo, and then Big E defeating Alberto Del Rio. We had a music video for AJ Styles, and he defeated Stardust. We had Chris Jericho defeat Sin Cara. This was a stacked Raw. I'm really trying to get people over. Jericho hyped my match in the future against Cena. With a Reigns promo, he defeated Sheamus for 69. Triple H attacked Roman Reigns, and that was your main event. So Roman Reigns obviously just became champion, and I was obviously continuing that feud to get Roman over with the overness of Triple H, which you can see there, far more than everybody else. But at this stage, the matches weren't particularly great, but the wrestlers were certainly getting stuff over with promos. So that was a good start there. So our first Mania would have been in 2017, and if we scroll all the way down here, we try and find it. WrestleMania 33. So let's see what we had. We had an A94 show, so we took a year to build up well. just under 60,000 in the Citrus Bowl in Florida. And we had Darren Young win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We had a big match for the United States Championship where Shinsuke Nakamura defeated Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Cesaro, Rusev and Big E to retain the championship. We had Apollo Crews defeat Tyler Breeze for the IC title, and we had Enzo and Big Cass defeat Gallows and Anderson, Harper and Rowan and the Detroit Machine Guns, which of course would have been Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. A lot of multi-person matches here as we had Becky Lynch defeat Bayley, Asuka, Paige, Sasha Banks and Charlotte for the women's title. Again, just a 65, which is crazy. This was a filler match, I remember this, I had nothing for them. We had Cena, Jericho, Austin Aries and Jeff Hardy defeat Batista, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Don't know who the signing would have been, unfortunately. You can't look back at angles, but Shane announced somebody had signed. We had Finn Balor defeat Triple H, which got a 90. And we had Sami Zayn defeat Brock Lesnar, which was a 79. That was a big underdog storyline. That was really get Sami over. We had Undertaker defeat Kevin Owens. And we had Seth Rollins defeat AJ Styles to win the WWE Championship. World Heavyweight title, so that was an A87. And our main event was properly getting ratings over as we had Roman Reigns defeat The Rock, Dwayne Johnson in a 97 match, obviously, which would have boosted the rating there. So you can see early on in the mod it was certainly a case of the part-timers were still having action, but they were putting people over, apart from The Undertaker. But I think KO did get his revenge in that feud at one point. It was a long time ago, I can't really remember. So into 2018 you see I'd even brought back ECW and started pushing people on there. So WrestleMania 34. So in here we had a sellout 55,000 in the Metrodome in the Midwest, 89 for this one. We had the Usos defeat the American Wolves to retain the tag titles. Alexa Bliss won a Battle Royal before we named it the Johnny Lawler. I can never pronounce her surname, or the China Battle Royal. Big E won the Andre the Giant. We had AJ Styles defeat Zack Sabre Jr. to retain the IC, so going from main event to the opener. We had the Revival defeat Enzo and Big Cass, American Alpha and everybody's favourite tag team, Mojo Bojo, to retain the WWE World Tag Team titles. We had Baron Corbin defeat Cesaro for the US title. And then in a matchup where you never expected half of these guys to end up in WWE, we had Will Ospreay defeat Ricochet, which at the time was he's never got a WWE, Neville, Manny Andrade, so he was still Manny Andrade at this point, hadn't even made the main roster, Kenny Omega and Pentagon Jr. to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. We had Braun Strowman get his big moment by burying The Undertaker alive at WrestleMania 34. We had the ECW World Heavyweight title at this point, where we had Jervis Cottonbelly defeat Michael Elgin. Looking back at that, that's mental, but I even booked that. We had Bray Wyatt defeat Luke Harper, and obviously a split of the Wyatt family. That was an 89, and there is a proper throwback for you. Eva Marie defeated Bayley and Sasha Banks to win the WWE Women's Championship, and I got an 81. Wow. Never expected that to happen. We had Rusev defeat Brock Lesnar, so Lesnar doing the job again at WrestleMania. And Emma defeated Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Paige to retain the SmackDown Women's title. So yeah, a lot of people that didn't quite get the push that I thought were going to get the push in real life, didn't happen. Seth Rollins defeated Dolph Ziggler, 81. Dean Ambrose defeated CM Punk. Yeah, Punk's still not back, so obviously I got that one wrong. And Randy Orton defeating Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the WWE World Heavyweight title. We had The Miz defeat Dwayne Johnson in the Battle of Hollywood, which was an 83. And your main event, we had Roman Reigns defeat John Cena to retain the WWE Championship. Roman main event, a lot in Manias, seems to be the same in real life. Can tell I was really getting lazy at that point with 205 Live. So where are we? WrestleMania 35. So we had this one in Ireland, so this was the first one in Europe. A Star 95, good there at Croker Park. Croke Park, I don't know how it's pronounced. We had Marty Scurll win the male battle royal, and we had Bayley win the women's battle royal. We had Shane Strickland defeat Ricochet and King Neville to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. And we had Undertaker finally get his revenge on Brock Lesnar in a 62 rated match. So both guys by this time had been done. I think Taker actually retires after this. He finished off what he needed to do and then made a move to the commentary booth, which again, TW things. You're never going to see that in real life, but that was quite cool to see. Mad that Lesnar, obviously I think he had a big physical decline, so 3 Mania defeats in the trot was quite crazy, but at least it was putting people over. Austin Aries defeated Big Cass, Cody Rhodes and Adam Cole to retain the European title. We had the Trios Championship, yep, that was a thing at one point, and we had Teddy Hart, Jack Evans and Harry Smith of the Hart Foundation defeat Akira Tozawa, Manny Andrade and Will Ospreay. I had Charlotte defeat Paige to retain the Women's Championship for SmackDown, which is an 80, it's not too bad, before we'd merged the championships to one when they went to their separate brand. I had Chad Gable defeat Samoa Joe. Jinder Mahal defeated Chris Jericho, and I think it was me just getting Chris Jericho out of the way, so he obviously been fired as well. Oh, he was back as an authority figure, there we go. There's another one. Dana Brooks Evolution as she defeated Crazy Mary Dobson. This is before Sarah Logan, how long ago it was. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks for the Women's Championship, that was a 79. Bray Wyatt defeated Bo Dallas, which was an 85, so that was quite cool to have. The New Day defeating the Revival was an 82 for the World Tag Team titles. Dolph Ziggler defeated The Miz, a 91 rated match for the US title. Fair play. I always thought they two had great chemistry and feuds together, if I'm being honest. ECW World Heavyweight title was on the line as Harper defended it and retained against Jeff Hardy, Chris Hero and Trent Beretta. We had Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks defeat AJ Styles and Gallows and Anderson in the Battle of the Clubs. Or the Elite, however you wish to see it. Big feud between One Last Time, John Cena versus Dwayne The Rock Johnson. John Cena defeated The Rock in a 77 rated matchup. With Dean Ambrose win the Intercontinental Championship against Apollo Crews, Rusev, Sami Zayn and Zack Sabre Jr. With Seth Rollins defeat Braun Strowman, which was a 93. And we had Roman Reigns Baron Corbin retained the World Heavyweight Championship in a 99 rated match, which is crazy, against Roman Reigns and Randy Orton. I think it's a match that people wouldn't want to see in real life, but damn, in this game it worked. And I went with a main event of Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan, with Daniel Bryan retaining the WWE Championship. Next Wrestlemania, Royal Rumble, Payback, Extreme Rules, it should be in here somewhere, 36. So how different is this compared to what it could have been? So there's 61,464 more fans than the real WrestleMania, and A98 as well. Let's see how close we are to the actual show. I'm going to assume not very. So Becky Lynch won the Women's Battle Royal. Okay, different. Dolph Ziggler and Jason Jordan defeated the Revival to retain the World Tag Team titles. Certainly different. Braun Strowman won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Different. The Masters of Wrestling on the full show defeated the Young Bucks, the Coffey Brothers and Gallows and Anderson to retain the WWE Tag Team titles. Of course, that being the team of Chris Hero and Cesaro. Kings of Wrestling, now Masters of Wrestling in here. So we called the Coffey Brothers go to WWE for enough NXT UK, but yeah, it's quite cool to get a 77 there. Gargano versus Ciampa on the same weekend. We had Gargano be victorious, and we had Matt Hardy defeat Jeff Hardy in a 63 rated, so that's obviously a bit different. Cruiserweight title, I had Grand Metal Elite defeat Akira Tozawa, King Neville and Manny Andrade to retain with a New Day promo. And we had the Trios Championship was the New Day against the Usos plus Tama Tonga and the Singh Brothers and Jinder Mahal, which was a 78, so certainly didn't have that. We had Aleister Black defeat Bray Wyatt 93, so fair enough, I think they'll cross paths in a big match up in the future, but we had it in here. We had The Miz defeat Sami Zayn, and we had Marty Scurll defeat Austin Aries for the United States Championship, which was an 81. European title, we saw Kota Ibushi, Zack Sabre Jr., Adam Cole, Rusev, Apollo Crews and Eddie Edwards, which was an 88. Literally just Adam Cole, Rusev and Apollo Crews, although Crews doesn't particularly do much, which is a shame. Hell of a talented guy. We had a triple threat between the former club leaders, and it was Devitt ahead of Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. So obviously, at this point, Fergal Devitt had done his 3 years out with his racial comments in game, so he came back and ditched the Finn Balor name. That seems like an eternity ago. John Cena defeat Daniel Bryan to win the WWE Championship, which was in 93. Baron Corbin defeat Randy Orton, which was in 83. John Cena sneak attack. Can't even remember who done that. We had Kevin Owens defeat Samoa Joe, which was in 97. We had Roman Reigns defeat Drew for the IC title, which was in 99. We had Charlotte defeat Dana Brooke for the Women's Championship, which was in 86. And the main event, I believe, was Ambrose versus Rollins, with Ambrose retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, a 99 rated matchup, and crazy to think that in this day and age he's not even with the company. It hasn't been for the last year, so that's quite mad. So that was my 1000th show special. We'll get to that in a minute actually, because that obviously was a spectacular one that we tried to pull off. What we do with another WrestleMania to fit in, 37. So here with the A100, with a sold out 72,000 at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Tony Storm won the Women's Battle Royal, Tommaso Ciampa the male. With Xavier Woods defeat Neville and Metalik for the Cruiserweight Championship, with Bojo against each other for the European title. That would have been sad times, but Bo Dallas picked up the win. He won the European Championship from Mojo. With Adam Cole defeat Andrade Cien Almas. We had the team of Elias and Aiden English defeat the Golden Lovers, the Young Bucks, and Strowman and Wyatt for the World Tag Team Championships in 93, which is crazy now because Elias is a jobber and English got future endeavoured. We had Pete Dunne defeat Aleister Black, with John Cena defeat Randy Orton. Don't think they'd ever fought one-on-one at WrestleMania, so I felt like, yeah, we need to do this. Jimmy Uso defeated Jey Uso in that personal brother feud. With Becky Lynch defeat Sasha Banks, Paige, Bayley, Charlotte and Dana Brooke for the Women's Championship, which was in 93, so that was when the women really started to take over. Rusev defeated The Miz for the US Championship, which was a 76. With Seth Rollins defeat Gable, Corbin, Ambrose, Sabre Jr. and Kofi for the IC title, was in 95. The Tag Team Championships saw Murphy and Carl Anderson, which was quite a good tag team. They done alright together. They were kind of underutilised. Lose to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. With Roman Reigns retain his World Heavyweight Championship against the Velveteen Dream. And we had a main event of Daniel Bryan winning the championship from Fergal Devitt at 100. So I'm going to scroll up here. Let's have a look at that 1000th show. So obviously I did finish bang on 1200 shows, which I thought was really cool. So let's see how we booked this. We had 61,000 at the MetLife. It was on a Friday. It was an A98. Let's just see. So we had all this legends confront each other. Bray Wyatt and the Monsters Among Men, which was Strowman, and I think it was Corbin, defeating AJ Styles and the Young Bucks. We had a Battle Royal that Laurel Van Ness won. We had Rhea Ripley defeat Toni Storm to win the Women's Television Championship, which would then become the Raw Women's Championship with the brand split. We had American Alpha defeat Marty Scurll and Will Ospreay. Samoa Joe won a Battle Royal. Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado defeated the Revival, Elias, Aiden English and the Coffey Brothers, with a confrontation between Brock Lesnar and Apollo Crews. Tommaso Ciampa defeated The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Andrade and John Cena. Ambrose and Rollins defeated Noam Dar and who else was in My Generation? I can't actually remember. I think it was Pete Dunne actually. Noam Dar and Pete Dunne and the Epidemic. I can't remember who that was. In a 90 rated match to retain the championships. Adam Cole and Sami Zayn defeated Kevin Owens and the Velveteen Dream. Randy Orton won the US Championship off Johnny Gargano, which was quite cool, and with the Women's Championship won by Paige as she defeated Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Ruby Riott and Ronda Rousey. And Okada defeated Marcel Barthel to retain the WWE Championship, which was a 90. And Ricochet winning the World Heavyweight Championship was your main event, and that got an 88. So that's quite a cool thing to bring in there. And I'm right in saying 22 should be Mania, yep, the last Mania that I can show, which would be 38. There we go. So that was an A-Star 100, AT&T, lovely place. I've been there, it's nice. I miss it, and it makes me sad to see Mania 32, but still 88,000, WrestleMania 38, A-Star 100. When you add all the props, your main celebrities, your major bands, you're pretty much close to guaranteed an A-Star 100. So if you've got the money in a save, just throw it at it. So we had the Young Bucks defeat the Epidemic for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We had Ruby Riott win the Johnny Laura Memorial Battle Royal. Drew McIntyre defeated Apollo Crews to win the NXT Heavyweight title. And Mark Coffey won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. With the Usos win the WWE Tag Team titles from the Monsters Among Men. Becky Lynch defeated Dana Brooke, which was in 85. That was Fire and Might, which kind of split at this point and led to that matchup. AJ Styles retained the Cruiserweight Championship against Neville at 79. AJ Styles was horrible in physical decline there. With Kenny Omega defeat Switchblade and Kota Ibushi, which was an 88 for the European title. Adam Cole defeating Kevin Owens, with Pentagons Jr. defeating Zack Sabre Jr. Also, Okada, Samoa Joe and Andrade defeated Marty Scurll, Will Ospreay and Walter, which was an 85, so that was quite cool to get that on WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan defeated Nakamura, which was in 94. Rusev won the IC title from Marcel Barthel, which was in 83. And we had Paige defeat Sasha Banks to retain the Women's Championship, which was in 87. Good to see the women getting such high matches at this point. With Ambrose and Rollins defend the World Tag titles against American Alpha, the Wyatt family effectively, Bo and Bray, and My Generation, which was in 90. Fergal Devitt defeated Akam, Randy Orton and Johnny Gargano for the US title. I think that was patched together, and Kazar was obviously in an MMA fight at this time, so 99 was good there. Charlotte losing to Ronda Rousey was in 92. Ricochet losing that World Heavyweight title to the Velveteen Dream was in 94. And Sami Zayn defeating Tommaso Ciampa and Good vs Evil was in 99. And yeah, just a spectacular way to finish WrestleMania 98 with Sami Zayn celebrating in front of 88,000 fans before he became this bad man that we know in real life just now. But yeah, it's quite cool looking back at the Manias. Obviously, I can't cover 39 because, yeah, that's gone live this Saturday. But honestly, I had a real good fun time booking it. There's a lot of preparation into WrestleMania 39. And yeah, I'm hoping, as I say, you guys enjoy watching as much as I enjoyed looking towards it, because I had so many notepads of how I was looking to go, making sure I was working towards these particular matches, and I'd like to think the show delivered in terms of a rating. Whether you guys are entertained, you can let me know. So this will go up, as I say, just before WrestleMania goes live. The schedule will pretty much be Mania. This kind of get thrown as something different, just to kind of get people back in the mood for the new game, and obviously have a wee cast back. So we'll have a look next week, basically at the title lineages, see who was doing what and stuff like that. I'll also do like a wee mini like Hall of Fame ceremony, so we'll see who have the. We'll have a look at the Hall of Immortal, we'll see who joined that in the game, and then we'll have a WWE Hall of Fame where we'll add in everybody that the game says could qualify, so you might get some strange people entering. But just keep as well, just let me know what you guys are planning for the new TW, let me know if there is any other things you want to see on the channel, because don't get me wrong, fair enough I've not mentioned certain particular saves. They could happen at one point, it just depends what happens down the line. You know, there could be plenty of time available coming up with the current situation, so hopefully we can kick on with that. Already planning my first Cody Rhodes promo, which says, oh look, fans are allowed back, and that's how we can explain how that happens. But apart from that, other things that will happen is the main series won't start until the full game comes out, so I can start in April, as in real life time. But the week of the demo, I'll just basically load up saves, and we'll just go through every feature and let people see what each particular feature does, and just basically navigating the UI and really try to sell the game to people. You know, known for the fact it's a small community and as many people playing this game can only be better and better for the community. But apart from that, cheers for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on Saturday for WrestleMania, before of course WrestleMania happens, because it's too big for one night. I completely agree with the decision to do that. But apart from that, guys, keep an eye out on the Grey Dog software forums. As I say, the full developer diary is there with all the features. New section on there for 2020, and as I say, you can keep an eye on there for how folk are getting prepped for the game, and potential stuff that could be coming, what mod makers are potentially doing. Keep an eye out for all that, and it's a good place, a good starting point, where if there's something that you don't know, and then people say that I know, and I'm just like, I kind of learn on the fly, so always keep an eye out on that. You can always find out a good few tips in the small questions thread that will pop up when the game comes out. Also check out TW Database on Twitter. They've got a website there that keeps all the mods kind of in one place, so it's quite easy to navigate. And of course, Fancy Booker subreddit, if you want to see some more content from guys, not just in written format but also in video format. A lot of other, it's the easiest place to find a lot more along with the YouTubers. Definitely check on there. But yeah, I'm getting hyped, man. A new game's coming and I am ready for it, a new adventure. So cheers for watching, thanks for taking the time out, stay safe, and I'll see you all for Wrestlemania. Bye bye.